Hello and welcome to Granada Reports. We're live with the news in the northwest.
Hello there. Here's what's on the programme this evening.
Just days before a public inquiry opens into her crimes, child killer Lucy Letby is reported to be planning a fresh appeal.
In dramatic style, our greatest Paralympian makes it gold medal number 19.
The vital years before children go to primary school are warning many just aren't ready.
Why this clown is hoping to be on stage when Oasis get back together next year.
And in the weather corner, it's a real treat for me this evening. These bright and cheery blooms have inspired artists across the globe. I'm in Holmeswood to find out why they're so special and, of course, to give you the full forecast.
Well, first tonight, the child serial killer Lucy Letby is planning to launch a fresh appeal with a new legal team, according to reports.
The former nurse is serving 15 whole life orders for the murders of 7 babies and the attempted murders of 7 others on the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital.
Her new barrister is said to be planning to make an application to the Criminal Cases Review Commission for her case to be sent back to the Court of Appeal.
Well, our reporter Vicky Grimes has been following this one. What more do you know, Vicky?
Well, and this comes from a report from the BBC who's spoken to a man called Mark MacDonald, who is Lucy Letby's new barrister. He says he plans to make an application to the Criminal Cases Review Commission for her case to be sent back to the Court of Appeal. Now, Lucy Letby has already unsuccessfully appealed against her conviction once. That was in May this year. Mr MacDonald says a fresh appeal is planned. He says he believes strongly there's a strong case that she is innocent. The fact is, he said, is that juries get it wrong, and yes, so do the Court of Appeal. History teaches us that. Now, he's also spoken out on social media as well. Writing on X, formerly known as Twitter, he said that the day after Lucy was convicted, I raised concerns. I was attacked for speaking out, even reported to my professional body. There are many hurdles to overcome in coming years, but one day justice will be done and those wrongly convicted will be freed. Now, Lucy Letby is currently serving 15 whole life orders for the murders of 7 babies and the attempted murder of 7 others at the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital between June 2015 and June 2016. That follows 2 trials last year, and she's only the 4th woman in UK history to be told she'll never be released from prison.
And we're just days from the inquiry starting, aren't we?
That's right, Gamal. The Thirlwell inquiry is due to begin next Tuesday, the 10th of September in Liverpool. It will be chaired by Lady Justice Thirlwell and will take place at Liverpool Town Hall. It's expected to examine events at the Countess of Chester Hospital, and it will aim to get answers for the families of those babies.
OK, Victoria, thank you.
Next, the start of reception year at primary school is a big moment for parents and children. But tonight, we look at the growing number of teachers who say many of those kids aren't ready for school.
Yes, new figures show more than a third of teachers say children aren't developmentally where they should be, arriving without the basic skills needed to learn.
It's leaving them at a disadvantage from the start, as Anna Yosef reports.
Molly Ray's only 3, but she's already gaining some important skills. Skills she'll need to be school ready for next September, but many children won't be. According to a recent survey by the global children's charity Their World, more than a third of primary school teachers in the UK believe most of their pupils aren't developmentally ready when they start school, with a significant proportion of 4- and 5-year-olds not able to go to the toilet by themselves or wash their hands. Many teachers believe not going to preschool is the reason why pupils are unprepared for their first day of school.
Big pandas, show me your busy fingers.
If a child goes to a preschool before they go to school, they're learning all the social skills that they need to share, take turns, make friends. They're learning self-help skills. They're learning things like recognising the name, letters, numbers, all the things they need to help them when they go to a reception class.
Just how critical are the first 5 years of a child's life to their long-term development?
If a child misses a step in their development from the age of 0 to 5, it's very difficult to bridge the gap to get them to where they should be. So it's really important. They're like sponges at that age, and that's the main time they're taking everything in of their learning.
But many families are struggling to find affordable childcare.
The childcare system is shocking. My husband and I are on good wages, but the idea of having 2 children close together and paying for nursery wasn't really viable, to be honest. So I do think there's a lot there that could be learnt to improve, so parents don't have to spend that much money and have that kind of additional stress, really.
I think a lot of children, are not always school ready. I think nursery massively helps, and things like childminders help. However, there's a lot of children that don't go to nursery.
If she didn't go to the childminder shoes with me, it might have been a bit more challenging, because I don't know, I feel like a lot of mums might not know exactly what you're meant to do.
Experts say there needs to be more funding for early years provision and more incentive for people to train as childcare workers.
We know 90% of the brain is developing in those crucial early years. And we know that if they turn up at school not ready to embrace everything that primary school has to offer, then they're at a disadvantage from the start, and one that stays with them through the rest of their lives. And that's not fair. It's just simply not fair.
Campaigners say they'll continue pushing for a fair start for every child. Anna Joseph, ITV News.
And we contacted the Department for Education about our story this evening, but have yet to receive a response.
More news now, and a judge has ruled that a wealthy heiress from Sale in Greater Manchester was unlawfully killed by her husband, who will no longer inherit her millions. Paula Leeson died in 2017 when she drowned in the swimming pool of a holiday villa she was renting with husband Donald McPherson. He was later acquitted of her murder when a jury at Manchester Crown Court was told there was insufficient evidence. Today, the High Court in Manchester blocked Miss McPherson from inheriting her £4.5 million estate.
Thousands of drivers are being told to plan ahead for their journeys as parts of the M62 will close tonight until Monday to replace a railway bridge near Rochdale. Network Rail is demolishing Castleton Bridge, which will mean a key section of the motorway being closed for 2 weekends. It'll mean both the eastbound and westbound carriageways being shut between junctions 18 and 20.
More than 1,000 delegates are expected to the Green Party's annual conference, which is being held in Manchester for the first time. The party is celebrating its best ever general election result after increasing its number of MPs from 1 to 4. The 3-day conference is taking place at Manchester Central.
Now that we have more than quadrupled our number of local councillors and quadrupled our representation in the House of Commons, more and more people are seeing that if you want those policies that are about creating a fairer, greener country, then you can vote Green and you will get Greens working hard for you at every level of government.
And Cunard's flagship, the Queen Mary 2, has arrived at the Pierhead in Liverpool. The luxury liner's celebrating her 400th transatlantic crossing and is already drawing large crowds on both sides of the River Mersey. She'll be on the river until midnight tomorrow, bound for Cove in Ireland. Now, it's renowned for its cancer care and pioneering research, but the Christie also boasts an award-winning garden.
It certainly does. The landscaped garden at the centre of the hospital in Manchester has won an NHS Biodiversity Award and is hosting visits from other NHS trusts who want to learn about how a garden can benefit patients.
And it's all the work of just one gardener. Andrew Fletcher has been to meet him.
It's not what you might expect to find when you walk into the UK's biggest cancer hospital. In the rooms around the Christie Garden, cancer patients are undergoing chemotherapy or hearing the results of scans. For them, this oasis of colour and vegetation is a precious haven at the heart of the hospital.
It's a beautiful place to be, and lots of colour, very serene, the odd bird life that floats in.
It's a quiet, respectful space, really, which is, yes, it's an absolute go-to for me. It's a wonderful space to enjoy.
The garden's been planned and maintained with patients and staff in mind.
And the idea is it just takes your mind off things, just that little bit of time just to yourself.
Phil is head gardener in a team of one. Although he credits the hospital managers who support his work and the Christie charity that funds it, he single-handedly plants, prunes and waters the garden.
Meet some absolutely, beautiful people, and that's what makes my job, really special. So you don't feel like you're coming into doing a chore. You feel like it's just kind of like a way of life, really.
Phil doesn't use chemicals or weed killers in the garden, and he encourages wildlife with bee-friendly plants, nest boxes and living walls. His work was recognised with an NHS Forest Award for successful ways to support biodiversity.
We've got wagtails that come in, jays, we have a fox that visited. So we have internal gardens, we have living walls in the car parks. It links, so it doesn't just stand on its own. So when you come to the Christie, any entrance you come in, you'll see a little bit of colour and it grabs you and it just makes you feel welcome. That's the idea of it. This is to replicate the Christie logo.
Around the garden are hidden corners where patients and staff can find privacy and peace.
There's lots of waiting around and just coming out and being able to look up and see the blue sky and the clouds and these beautiful colours and flowers, which are ever changing, because the gardener does an amazing job keeping it all fresh and always something new to look at.
Phil's preparing for autumn, when the changing colours of the foliage will give the garden a different look. And he's about to recruit an apprentice to help him keep the garden beautiful all year round. Andrew Fletcher, ITV News in Manchester.
That report made me feel really relaxed. I think it's just looking at all those lovely flowers.
He won't want me as his apprentice because I could kill any plant.
Enough said about that, the better. On to sport now. Yet another gold medal for Britain's greatest ever Paralympian. Hello, Chris.
Yeah, gold medal number 19 for Dame Sarah Storey. The Stockport cyclist has topped the podium for the second time at this, her 9th Paralympics. But it's likely she's never been pushed harder. In a dramatic final kilometre of the road race, she reeled in breakaway leader Heidi Gauguin, but the Frenchwoman fought back to set up a sprint finish. Storey, at the age of 46, hanging on to win by inches, to the delight of her daughter Louisa, who was roaring her over the line. And there was medal success in the B road race too, with Liverpool's Laura Faki winning bronze alongside her pilot Corinne Hall. Now we turn to rugby league, and with just 3 games left of the regular season, only points difference separates leaders Hull KR from Wigan at the top of the Super League table. Tonight they go head-to-head at the Brick Community Stadium, where David Chisnall can join us from live. David, this could decide who gets the next piece of silverware, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. As you say, these two sides locked in battle at the top of the Super League table. Wigan just behind Hull KR at the moment on points difference. It is that close, and no wonder with just 3 rounds of the regular season to go, no wonder people are saying that this is the biggest game in Super League so far this season. Delighted to say that, to look ahead to this big game, we have the Wigan head coach Matt Peat with us. Matt, we've built it up there. I mean, we're going to build it up, say it's going to be a big game, but how important is this one in terms of your ambitions to go on top the table and to kind of retain that league leader's shield?
Yeah, I certainly think that the team that can get the 2 points tonight will be in pole position. There's obviously some games left to be played, but no, it's a big one. The two teams have had some fantastic battles in the past. Massive amount of respect for Hull KR and what they've built on and off the field in the last few seasons. So we've had some great games, and I'm expecting another one this evening.
Now, of course, you're greedy. You've got all of the trophies at the moment. You're the World Champions, Super League Champions, Challenge Cup, League Leader Shield. You've got it all. How much is there the desire to keep hold of these? You have the 4 at the moment. The League Leader Shield is the next one that could go. How much do you really have ambitions to keep hold of that?
Well, we've certainly got that ambition. It's probably the next part of the test for us as a group. You're so hungry when you're chasing these trophies for the first time, but we know how hungry Hull KR will be, and everybody else in the competition to wrestle them from us, and that's the battle we face. It's one we're excited about, and it's fantastic.
Okay, Matt, thanks so much for joining us this evening. Good luck tonight. Well, of course, the community stadiums, aren't they, here in Wigan, and right across our sports clubs and sports teams right across our region really do so much. And, well, it's going to be a big crowd here tonight. The stadium is being used by the community on more than just match days. Delighted to say that joining us now is the club's chairman, Professor Chris Brooks. Chris, we've seen a new hub that's been open today, a new Wi-Fi hub that's been open. Lisa Nandy, the local MP, was opening it this evening. Just tell us, what is it and why you're doing it?
So it's a wonderful chance for us to deal with some really big issues in this town. The poverty in terms of access to technology, that's something which is critical. And in terms of levelling up, making sure that people have access to broadband, have a safe place to study, and can actually be in a space where they feel comfortable and welcome, and one in which they can really get to grips with the problems with access that are so prevalent in our town.
Fantastic. Great work that you guys are doing off the pitch as well. Well, there we go. Let's hope that the players this evening can do just as good work on the pitch. Big game this tonight. 8 o'clock kick-off.
Brilliant. Thank you, David. Now, to cap off Back to School Week, junior football returns tomorrow with a major new rule change. From this season, headers are banned for all age groups under 11. It's part of the Football Association's plan to make the game safer. But how is the new rule going down with players and parents? I went to South Manchester Sports Club in Handforth to find out.
2, 1, let's go.
These young footballers dress as their heroes, but can't play like them. Since before they were born, here they've removed headers from training after safety advice from the FA. Now they're banned from matches too.
I remember taking it back 15, 20 years. We do throw head catch and things like that. We haven't done anything like that in a long, long time. A lot of our training anyway is ball on the floor, so we don't want to use the head anyway if we can.
Under new rules, any header will result in a free kick. You could even get a yellow card for persistent heading. But there are serious university studies linking heading to health risks, with footballers up to 5 times more likely to develop dementia. A dangerous trend, highlighted by the deaths of World Cup winners Nobby Stiles and Sir Bobby Charlton, who both had dementia, a disease their old Manchester United teammate Dennis Law also now has. As a parent of a 6-year-old, how do you feel when you see him head the ball?
I can tell that it occasionally does hurt him. He's still growing, so I don't really like him heading the ball.
He sees his favourite players doing it and things like that, Rashford and all them. So, yeah, he's always like, throw me the ball and I'll try and head it. And I do try to say no. Like, I don't think it's right that they do head the ball this young.
It should be an integral part of the game, and as long as it's done in a supervised manner, I think it would detract from the game to really shelter them from it and not have them brought up as being part of their game that they're learning.
A child's brain isn't developed until they're 24, 25. So heading a ball continuously in training all the time, it's proven that it does damage.
So the Football Association say the rule change will prevent injuries. The coaches here certainly agree. The parents mostly approve. There's only one problem. The players don't like it.
Stupid.
Do you ever want to head the ball?
Sometimes, because then it goes in the air and I'm right next to a goal. I had to, but I can't.
If you're front of the goal and the ball just comes in front, then you have a chance to score.
Do you like this rule, or do you think they should bring back headers?
Back headers.
You like headers? Do you like? Does it not hurt when you do it? When you go into these matches and you've got a chance of scoring and the ball bounces up to head height, what are you going to do?
Header it.
So you're going to break the rules?
Yeah.
The test of discipline begins for these players in the Manchester Youth Super League tomorrow, when using their heads means anything but. Yeah, something tells me it's going to be a tough job for the referees this weekend.
I was going to say, what are the chances of those kids following the rules?
Very, very slim. They all want to head the ball. They want to play like their heroes.
Yeah. It's like telling them to wash their teeth, telling them to put their shoes on, telling them to do their homework, isn't it?
Basically telling them to do anything, right?
Chris, thanks very much. Now, after thousands of fans missed out on tickets to their new tour, Oasis announced this week they'll play 2 extra dates at Wembley. And following the news, the brothers have put their differences aside, we think. A clown has been remembering his part in one of their biggest ever hits.
Yes, Colin Mayer from Bognor Regis featured in the music video for Wonderwall in 1995. The single peaked at #2 in the UK charts, and in between filming, Colin got to spend time with Liam and Noel.
He's hoping he may get a chance to appear on stage when they perform next year. Derek Johnson reports.
Oasis have got their fans in a spin by getting the band back together. This is probably their most famous song and video, featuring this man. Colin Mayer, a professional clown from Sussex, was asked in 1995 to be in a video that would give him his own place in Britpop history.
I'd already done 18 days on the Trop in London. I had one day off, and it was that day they wanted. And I had visions it might be a heavy rock band that wanted to cut the head off a clown with a chainsaw. So I was a bit panicky, and then I said, yeah, OK, I'll do it. And the last thing I knew was who the band was. So after everything, who's the band? They said, Oasis. And I came away thinking, not the Oasis.
Wonderwall in the modern age would go on to be downloaded millions of times. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, absolutely, but obviously there was nerves. But with Liam, I've gotten well with Liam. They did actually have one sort of disagreement, and I can't really know what it was about. You just heard them kicking off a little bit, and then they went off to the van, the wardrobe van, and then came back, and everything seemed to be settled. It's fine.
Colin, now semi-retired, had a long career performing in shows alongside celebrities and in children's hospitals. Now his friends are hoping Oasis will invite him on stage during their sell-out tour next year.
He's just led such a good career of giving to charity and giving his life over to other people and raising money. He's done so much stuff with some high-profile people. I just think it would be wonderful that he ends his career just for one walk-on one song at their gig, just so that he can come on as the clown that he was in Wonderwall and just have a lovely round-up to his career.
It's Colin's dream too.
And just look at the Oasis, no expression. Look at the crowd leaning back, no expression, and then just walk off stage. And everybody there says, what the hell's... Oh, God, it's the clown from the Wonderwall video.
Some might say the smell of the grease paint and the roar of the crowd never fade. This performer would be truly made up if he took centre stage again. Hopefully one day is going to be the day.
Ta-da! How about that? What a transformation.
Derek Johnson, ITV News.
Well, I think Colin deserves a chance.
Good luck with asking Liam.
Time for the weather now, and Emma is out and about in Lancashire for us tonight, where it's all about some spectacular blooms. Hello, Emma.
Hello, Gamal. Yes, you could be forgiven for thinking I'm in some far-flung corner of Provence, but no, I'm at Holmeswood Flower Farm near Rufford, in amongst these absolutely magnificent flowers. And contrary to popular belief, these cheery blooms actually originated in North America more than 4,500 years ago. They didn't actually land in Europe until the 16th century, when Spanish explorers imported them to make cooking oil. And I'm lucky enough to be here this evening with head grower Grace Edge. Lovely to see you. Ahoy there across the sea of sunflowers there. You've got a lovely setup here, and the sun is just catching all the petals so beautifully at this time of day. But people can come here, they pick their own sunflowers. It's just magical, isn't it? What's so special about them?
People just love running through sunflowers. It's something, it brings so much joy to people, young and old. It's fabulous to see children just running through, squealing away. They get the flowers, they leave all the troubles behind when they're going through the sunflowers. So
I hope they don't run too deep, because there's quite tall over there. You could lose a few children in there, couldn't you, if you tried hard enough? How tall is the tallest flower?
About 9 foot.
9 foot. So how long does it take to grow to 9 foot?
16, 18 weeks.
Now, these are absolutely spectacular, but we've had I presume they do need, as their name says, lots of sun to thrive. And we've had a bit of a rotten summer. It's been wet, it's been cool. So how have you managed?
Honestly, don't know. A bit of luck, an awful lot of luck. It's been very, very cold, very wet, and it really is quite amazing that they look so good.
Yeah, you think you've got the magic touch.
Well, I might have. I don't know. I don't know.
And I found out today they don't just come in this glorious yellow, but they come in other colours too.
No, there's bronze, there's a pale yellow, there's orange, there's different sizes.
Yeah. And you let me into a secret. You're going to grow a blue one next year.
Blue one, hopefully.
Yeah, that's going to be the blue sky flower.
Yes,
that'll
definitely.
be. And actually, you're holding the petals here. Now that I'm close up to the sunflower, what I notice is it's not. It looks like one flower, but it's not.
There's about 2,000 florets within one flower.
Gosh, and the seeds behind, which are really good for you to eat.
The seeds are behind. They're very good to eat.
Yeah.
Very nutritious.
Can I just go into the garden and grab a few?
Personally, I wouldn't. I'd harvest them, I'd wash them, and then I'd roast them.
Right, okay, we'll do that. Okay, they need sun. Are we going to get any this weekend? Let's take a look.
Have you burnt tea again?
I'm scraping the cooled oil into the bin, not the sink.
Can we eat outside? It's nice.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Well, today's felt more like summer than the whole of the last 3 months, and sunflowers are the very essence of summer. So we're getting carried away with sunflowers this evening, and why not? Because there's more sun for most of us on the way tomorrow. Bit of a breakdown on Sunday and then turning fresher into next week with stronger winds, but more on that in just a second. So there's a lot of warm air across the whole of the northern half of the UK at the moment. The jet stream way up to the north, but on Monday and Tuesday it starts to buckle and sink southwards, drawing in cooler air from the north and west and stronger winds as well. And actually by Wednesday and Thursday next week our temperatures will be a good few degrees below where they should be for the time of year, but that's quite a wee way off at the moment. So let's just rewind to the next few hours, and as you can see, a fine evening for many of us. A little bit breezy out there, but the wind easing down overnight and staying dry and clear, temperatures comfortably into double figures. Into tomorrow then, the sun's up about 6:30 in the morning and sets at 7:45 in the evening. It's going to be a fine, bright start to the day, but the forecast has changed since this morning. We're now expecting some cloud to start pushing in from the south. So for the Isle of Man, Cumbria, the Lake District, I think you're going to fare very well tomorrow all the way through. Lots of sunshine around, staying dry and fine. But for the south, there is a low likelihood. So from Preston southwards, a low likelihood of a scattering of showers, and these could be heavy, but with light winds and everywhere feeling warm. And then there's Sunday. Look at Sunday. What a dog's dinner that is, a real mess. There's some heavy rain and showers on Sunday, and then things turning fresher, and that fresher air sinking southwards and flooding us with a few more showers and also some sunny spells and stronger winds. That's it. I hope you find your sunshine this weekend. Bye-bye.
It's a little bit burnt.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
An emotional day for me today, Anne. My boy started his first day of school. He was fine. I was a mess. Absolute mess.
Grow up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.